Hey, what's up, guys? I'm going to do just a quick video talking a little bit about GPS. It seems to be kind of the big topic these days. A lot of the sled manufacturers are kind of going in the direction of offering these awesome new gauge packages that give you integrated GPS. So I wanted to have a bit of a discussion around this. Just learned recently that this new gauge from BRP is actually not going to have the OFSC maps here in Ontario this year, which is honestly a huge disappointment. Not really sure what's going on behind the scenes and why they can't get their shit together, but in any case, I'm going to be running my old setup, which is this the Garmin Zumo 590 with the glove box extension. And what I wanted to show you guys is, for those of you who have the 2021s, you can move over the actual heated phone storage. So what I did was I just basically took it off of the original glove box cover that sits down here. It's basically just a couple of washers, and you take those off, and all I've done is I've just fastened the bracket for this phone mount to the top of the actual old glove box extension I had, just using 2 screws. So you'll see what those look like there. There's a screw there and just a nut on the inside. I just use 2. I mean, if you really want to and you want to secure it a little bit more, you can probably add 2 more in the back, but this seemed to work okay for me. It seems like it's going to be, sturdy enough to hold the phone in there. You still have your connection for heat and USB, which is fine. So again, pretty disappointing, to be honest, considering I was really looking forward to using the new gauge this year for mapping. But, good thing I kept this stuff from last year and didn't sell it. And, again, I was kind of holding out, just waiting for them to announce, hopefully, that they would have the Ontario mapping. But, again, pretty big letdown, really disappointed about that. But in any case, it is what it is. This will be my setup for this year, and then hopefully they can all get their act together for next year, and we'll have OFSC trails that you'll be able to see on the screen through the BRP Go app. I gotta say, I've been playing around with the BRP Go app, and it's actually phenomenal. The mapping's amazing, so that's why I was really looking forward to it. But in any case, it is what it is. A couple of other tips: if you guys are installing GPSs, what I typically do is I'll run these and power them off the solenoid. So some guys, will run them right off of the sled, and that kind of it sucks when it powers down. Some of these Zumos, I find that battery life stinks on them, and they actually don't really stay on for too long. So what I do is I'll wire it directly down through the steering column. I'll kind of come down here, and then I wire it right into the solenoid. So I just use one of those standard SAE connectors, basically exactly the same as what you would have from a battery tender. I'll just pull that out so you can see it, and that's it. So this part comes off the solenoid, the other part I fish down through the steering column, and fix it behind here, and you're pretty much good to go. You'll probably never have to touch it for the year. So that's going to be my backup GPS setup for this year. And like I said, hopefully for next year we'll get to be able to use the gauge.
So if you have a Garmin GPS, whether you're using it for snowmobiling, ATVing, or any activity, the first thing you're going to want to do is download Basecamp. So Basecamp is an application from Garmin that allows you to plug in your GPS to your computer, and it will pull up whatever map you have on your GPS on your computer. This then allows you to plan your trips and your routes directly from your computer, and those will show up directly on your GPS. So when it comes to the day that you want to go for a ride, essentially you plug your GPS into your machine and you click go, and it will track the exact route that you had pre-planned on Basecamp. So I wanted to go through how you go about planning a route. So when you're on Basecamp, your GPS is plugged in, so your mapping software is shown. First thing you're going to want to do is click this button here. When you click that, you can close this window and then select your starting point. So let's say I want to start my ride in Sudbury. So I'm going to click Sudbury, and then I want to go on my first day up to Timmins. I click Timmins, and as you can see, it's made a route directly from Sudbury to Timmins. Now, let's say on the second day, I want to go from Timmins across to, let's say, Chapleau. So I'm going to hit where I ended off the day before in Timmins, and then I'm going to go to Chapleau, which is right over here. And again, I know where these are, but you can zoom in on the map to get more detail so you know exactly where you want to go. So let's say I want to go right there. I'm going to click it, and as you can see, I'll zoom out. The route's now made from Timmins across to Chapleau. Now, let's say on the third day, I want to go from Chapleau across down to Searchmont. I'm going to hit Searchmont, and as you can see, it's planned that day again. And then on the last day, let's make this a longer day, we're going to go from Searchmont directly back to where we started in Sudbury. Okay, so here's a good example. As you can see, with this last day, it didn't really take me the most direct route. Let's say I didn't want to go onto Manitoulin Island here. I wanted to stay on mainland. So what you're going to do is you're going to zoom in, and essentially you drag the route that the software made to where you want the route to be. So I'm going to grab this here, and I'm going to drag it back over to this trail over here. I'm going to click enter. And as you can see, it's now rerouted me on land, so it's a much shorter ride directly from Searchmont to Sudbury. Now, the last thing I like to do is I like to number these files. So this one, which goes to from Sudbury to Timmins, I'm going to call it 1, and I can rewrite it Sudbury to Timmins. And then we have Timmins to Chapleau. I'm just going to call this 2. And then we have Chapleau to Searchmont. So that's going to be 3. And then Searchmont back to Sudbury, which will be 4. Now, basically what's going to happen is when you turn on your GPS, all these routes are going to be there and they're going to be numbered. So you're going to click on whichever day of the ride you're on, click go, and it's going to track it for you. So as you can see on the map, I'll zoom out so the entire route can be shown. I click day 1, that's the first day, second day, third day, and fourth day. This software is really awesome. It allows you to plan your routes in advance. I use it before most of the trips I go on, especially if I'm going on a trip to an area I don't know. I like to use the GPS, and then I can also plan exactly where I'm stopping for lunch, exactly which hotels I'm staying at, gas stations. I can plan that all out directly on this Basecamp application. So once you made the routes on Basecamp, you can then pull them up on your Garmin. So this is the Zumo 590, and on this, you click Apps, Trip Planner, and then you click these 3 dots over here, Import, and you import the trips. So for this trip, it was the Sudbury to Timmins, Timmins to Chapleau, Chapleau to Searchmont, and Searchmont to Sudbury. And then you click Import. And those are all here. And now you essentially hit the day you're riding, you click go, and it will show you the exact route and take you to your destination. If you like that video, be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the Sled Addicts YouTube channel, where we release content on everything snowmobiles. Also, hit that bell icon so you can be updated every time we release new videos.